let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, Kayla, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, nerds and virgins.
Go for Jeezy. No for KGZ, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Hey, welcome to the brand new MMA Roasted podcast. Me, Adam Hunter. It's gonna be a fun show today. We got me, we got Weendog, we got Shang. It's gonna be a good time. Shang, look, you lost some weight.
A little bit.
Nice,
6 pounds.
6 pounds. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Did you miss lunch? Is that what happened?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I haven't eaten pussy in a while, so that's.
Wow, 6 pounds of pussy. That's a lot. That's a lot.
6 pounds of pussy. I usually get, but no, yeah. I just still having a shoulder problem, but I'm doing pretty good.
You look good. You look good.
Thanks.
There was, by the way, Kayla Harrison yesterday was supposed to fight. We love Kayla, two-time Olympic gold medalist, like PFL champion, undefeated. So she's trying to, stay active. So she fought in Invicta a couple weeks ago, just murdered the girl. Then up for a fight in Titan FC. Her opponent missed weight by 30 pounds. So the fight was off.
And it was supposed to be at 155.
Yeah, she came in at 185.
What is she pregnant? What was she? After I drop this baby, I'm fucking you up. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, at what point, why do you even go on the scale? I mean,
what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah,
30 pounds. That's, Mayhem missed weight one time by 24 pounds or something, and then took off his shorts and then went back on the scale, and they just kicked him out of Italy. And he said he had a thong under it too.
Well, that makes sense with him, but
yeah, but 30 pounds, you're going into a fight. Why even show up? Do you think your opponent's gonna be like, you know what? All right, okay,
I'll give up a 30-pound difference.
And Kayla probably still would have won. Kayla.
Oh yeah, she would have dominated her.
It reminded me when I was actually not the same story, but this kid on my team, James, who's the best wrestler. He won the tournament 3 years in a row, but he was just beating everyone in a minute, in 30 seconds.
Right.
So his father was put him up a weight. All right, he beat everyone. His father was put him up another weight. Okay. So at one point, the kid was 80 pounds, and he was wrestling a kid that was 125. And the ref looked at me are you going to let this happen? And I was like, no. So, guys, we're not going to do this. And the father's like, come on. I never had to protect the kid against his own father.
Yeah.
His dad was telling me to, his dad was upset. I was like, no, we're not going to do this. Because he had lost, I think that day, he lost a match to a kid that was 20 pounds heavier. And I'm like, if that was 2 matches, we got to at least make it somewhat fair.
Right.
So,
but also, I wanted to say, again, I know we're doing the show now, but congratulations on the fucking special, man. Yeah, way to go, man. It's a lot of people don't have a platform to do something like that. So that's some cool shit. And I hope it resonates and gets a whole bunch of whirlwind of shit for you.
Not only that, Adam, you are forever cemented in UFC history as the first comedian to have a special on Fight Pass. 100 years from now, people are going to look back in the history books and say, who's this Adam Hunter guy? He's the first comedian to ever have a special on Fight Pass.
But that's good shit, man. I was I wanted to make sure I let you know that on air, because that as a comic, you a lot of comics don't realize.
Friday. It's going to air next week. It's not going to air Friday. It's going to air next week sometime.
Christmas Day.
As soon as I get the day, I will tell everyone to come. But
I'll retweet it. I'll retweet when you find out what day or whenever it is. I'll retweet it, and then I'll if you're on Facebook, I'll re-share.
Super excited about it. I was I will go down history as the last comic ever on Leno, and the first comic on Fight Pass. I might be the last comic on Fight Pass too, though. But I was the last comic. It was the craziest thing because they called me that day. They're like, hey, by the way, on Jay Leno, they couldn't get somebody to, like, the band wanted to play a Michael Jackson song, but they couldn't clear with the estate, so they had like 4 minutes that they had to kill.
What?
Yeah, so they called me up, they're like, hey, can you get down here today and do a set on Leno? And I was like, I was on my way to wrestling practice to coach. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I like go over there. I like pick up a pair of jeans at Old Navy because I had no clean jeans. My dad sent me a shirt. I get there. I don't even know that they're even gonna. I'm able to like do these jokes because my jokes weren't cleared. Normally, you have to clear your jokes, but I don't want to.
I've had that happen. Yeah.
I don't want to be like, hey, are these jokes clean enough to do it? Because if they say no, then I'm screwed. And so I don't even want to alarm them because J-Lo was there filming another show, and she had everyone's attention. So I go out there, and my opening joke was like, I love Asian women. That's why I hang out at traffic school. And because I said the word Asian, that was like too offensive. So they just dropped the word Asian. So if you watch my set, all you hear was, I love women. That's why I hang out at traffic school.
It still works. It still works.
It's okay to offend all women, just not Asian.
Yeah. But no, I think the late show, I got called Friday. I did it Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so I immediately was at every club, like running my set over and over again, getting ready. Because I was like, I thought I was supposed to be in a couple months. Well, you're not now. I'm like, what? That's how they do it with a lot of comics.
No, the last minute. Like, that's why you always got to be ready. The first time I did it, I found it the day before. And, I was so nervous that my like armpits were just dripping with sweat before I went out there. So they had to blow dry my shirt. I take off my blue shirt, blow dry it, put it back on, and I missed a button when I put it back on. So everyone's like, "You're on the Tonight Show, and your shirt's not buttoned." Like, I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah, no, it's that. Yeah, that's what, you know what? Because I was nervous, so I was like, I had a burgundy shirt, and then my girl at the time was like, "You're sweating. Maybe you should wear a black shirt." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe you're right." Yeah. And I switched to a black shirt like last minute. Because I was like, oh, shit. And then, of course, black shirt, you can see shit. So I was like, yeah, let's go.
1,000%. So then I like Bill Maher is the other guy on the show. So I do my set. He's laughing at everything. And then, first of all, they like tell me, hey, you're going to have cue cards for your jokes. I didn't want cue cards. But like, I didn't want to be like, no, I don't want cue cards. But like, no, don't worry, So I go out there. They have cue cards with my jokes on them. But I don't look at them because I know my jokes. But then Bill Maher is like, cue cards? I never had cue cards. And I'm like, dude, I didn't want the cue cards. I don't want to. So now he's already giving me shit because they tell you to talk to people during the break when it goes to commercial break. So I go, Bill, do you still like doing stand-up comedy? And he's like, yeah, it's a lot easier when you have your own jet. I'm like, thanks, buddy.
Really? That's the first shit you said? No, I did politically incorrect like 3 times.
Yeah.
And each time, and he just gets a kick out of giving people shit.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? It's weird. He never gave me shit. He never gave me.
Oh, because you think you're a little more intimidating than me.
Yeah, I think I was just having, normal chit chat with him. But I'm going to tell you right now, though, man, the trailer for the fucking special, man, looks fire. And the way they did it looks really cool. And the fact that the UFC logo is like with your special, fuck that, dude. That's beast mode shit.
Hell yeah.
I'm really happy. I did comedy at a weed dispensary last Saturday night, and I was taking a dump, and all of a sudden I'm taking a dump, and then my phone starts blowing up. And that's when I found out they aired it in pay-per-view. I was like, while I was in the back, but I was so excited about it airing that I was actually like higher than anyone at the dispensary, and I was beyond happy, man. Like, I'm so excited about it. I'm really pumped and I'm really grateful. And,
right.
Also like I did 25 minutes of jokes about MMA, which I can't do at normal clubs because most people don't know who Chris Weidman is or who, Nunez is or whoever. So it was cool to have like a forum where people actually knew what I was talking about.
The John Jones bit. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that it's going to build a different audience for you that you already kind of building on. So fuck that, man. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Another quick little thing. So the day after I did Leno, I was on a cruise ship working, right? The next day I flew out to do a cruise ship and I do a joke and it bombs. And I go, just so you know, people, last night I did that joke on the Tonight Show. And some lady in the crowd goes, I didn't laugh at either.
And then you throw her over throw overboard. No, you know it's weird. I got heckled when last time I did Royal Caribbean because I did 2 bits that they were offended with, and then afterwards it was funny because I have to see that motherfucker the whole week.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
I was just every time he saw me, he said he would do like this. He would down. Like, oh, it was the worst. And I was like, as soon as I was getting off the boat, I saw him again. I was like, did you have to do that every day you saw me? Because I was on there with my kid. My kid had to come with me because I couldn't get to. His mom was like, I'm not a week. No, I'm not. You're going to take him with you. So I took my Cameron with me and my son with me. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I so wanted to punch that dude in the fucking face. He was such an asshole. But you can't do that while you're on a cruise.
Well, you start factoring the money. You're like, is this worth X amount of dollars? I'm going to Yeah. I still got to write that series about a cruise ship because there was so many funny things that happened on that cruise. Those cruise ships are a whole different world. And
but I mean, the money was good though. I made really good money. So I was like, what do I do? But I just didn't like the way I had to do my act. I like to be free.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I was like, when I got off the cruise ship, I did a place, the Blue Room. And you know, when you ever done that club?
Yeah. In Missouri, right? Or Chicago.
Yeah. Missouri. Yeah. And I just was like, oh, I'm going full blast. And it was great. It was great. So I think the thing is, it's going to open it up for you with the UFC fans that don't, like, oh shit, this guy, Adam Hunter, who is it? And I think it also, the people that are just casuals will be like, they'll get the jokes. They will get the jokes.
Well, thank you, Shang, man.
They'll get the jokes.
Nobody's been in my corner more than you and vice versa. So thank you.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool of you. Those cruise ships. I remember I got heckled by a bunch of 3-year-olds during a kid show. And there's nothing you could say. So I just look at them. I'm like, hey, buddy, look at me. I am your future. And I just scared the shit out of them.
I threaten them. I go, you know what? I can beat you, baby. I can. They can't block punches with their little arms.
I almost got it yesterday. So I took my kid to music class in the park yesterday. And halfway through the class, there's a guy watching the class, like through the bushes. I could see him. And I'm like, but he's not, I can tell he doesn't have any kids there. I'm like, great. This is what happens during a pandemic. You have class outside in the park and you got creepos in the park. So then he comes and he's just watching everybody. So I'm going with the other nannies. I'm like, hey, you know this guy? You know this guy? Well, no, now I'm like, my heart's racing. Because I'm like, am I going to have to fucking kick out a child predator or a pedophile? So I'm like, go up to him like, hey, man, which kid's yours? I go, is one of your kids here? He's like, no. Then he said, but I'm with, and then he pointed to a little girl. I go, and then I asked the nanny, she's like, yeah, that's our like driver. I guess they had some money, they had a driver. But I'm like, great, but that you got to have a better way to like, you can't, coming in the middle of a class, staring at kids.
You can't creep in the weeds, you creepoid. And you can't be like, you come over to me, I'm sorry about having my dick in my hand while I was doing it.
Like, I'm ready to like pounce on this guy. Like, I literally, my heart was racing. Like, I may have to fight this guy.
Well, I threatened a woman at Ralph's once because she said something about my son, my other son.
Yeah.
Not my older one, oh, look at the cute little monkey. I said, did you call what? And I took the little thing that you divide the food with.
Yeah.
I will beat you to death with this. And, then you see the security like creep up on me. I'm like, don't you ever? She said, no, I didn't mean it. I didn't want. But I was like,
oh my God.
I can see it. And my son looked like a monkey. I go, yeah, he is chimp-like, but he was. I'm a goofball. My kids are the beautiful ones. I'm the goofball. So I was like, I don't play that shit. Not with my kids. You can call me whatever the fuck.
It'd be funny if like your kid had like a banana. It was like on like a unicycle.
But no, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, like kids, they can't fight, but they are flexible. And I say they are flexible. If you get them on the arm bar, they can go all the way. They're the Tony Ferguson of babies.
Well, let's talk about Tony Ferguson. So
I've never seen an arm bar where I thought this arm's broke. I bullshit you not. I thought it was broke. And it's not.
It was so fucking broke. I had an OnlyFans account. So Tony Ferguson said recently that he mentally broke Oliveira in the first round.
Yeah, he did an Instagram live and he said that.
No, like he basically thinks he didn't lose that fight. I guess. Like
no, he admitted it. Or I saw him admit it on another one. He said, "I was flat. I just was flat, and I wasn't on that night." But I got to give him props for toughness. Good. I can't think of one arm bar where I thought, "Oh, there's no fucking way. His arm's broke. There's no way."
There was a couple. There was one with the GSP versus Dan Hardy was pretty gnarly.
Pretty brutal. Yeah. But he kind of twisted out of it. This one was full blast.
Yeah. And then of course there's Renzo Gracie where you just let the guy break your arm.
Yeah.
And then
Silva. I mean the Silva one where Silva arm got broke.
Now, but the thing is do we look? I'm not ready to give up on Tony Ferguson. Okay, for some reason, people are like, "Oh, he's the shell of his own."
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
He's done. No, like let's put him in one more fight and see how he does. And then if he still has a bad showing, maybe we start, thinking
no, not even then. You can't give up on a guy that was 12.
Yeah.
2. Come on, he's 12-2. He had a 12-fight run. He lost 2 fights to great fighters. It wasn't like he fought some bums.
Yeah, but he actually looked good in the Gaethje fight. He didn't look good in this fight.
He looked flat, and he said it. He said he looked flat. Yeah. And then there's a video of him doing like windmills on his arm to show his arm's fine. And I was like, the crazy's back. I love that. Wayne, did you see that video where he's spinning?
Yeah.
Like, dude. He's a mutant, dude. But I think that now Oliveira should be in the discussion with, if Khabib comes back for that 30, fuck that. Give it to this dude. That would be a great ground game battle. And I don't know, man. I think his jiu-jitsu, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, well, first of all, Dan Hooker is calling Oliveira a pussy. I'm not really sure how you can call that guy a pussy.
Where do you get that from? What kind of bullshit is that?
That's the most ripped pussy ever. Number one. I don't see that. I mean, I think he wants to fight because it doesn't make any sense. I like Dan Hooker, but what?
Well, that's the only fight for Dan Hooker who that's ranked above him that isn't already scheduled for a massive fight, because Dan Hooker is ranked 6th. Ranked 5 is Conor McGregor, 4 is Tony Ferguson, 3 is Charles Oliveira, 2 is Dustin Poirier, and 1 is Justin Gaethje, with Khabib still being the champ. So that's the only person ahead of Dan Hooker that is
I think Poirier, if anybody gets out of that top 6, I think that the fact that Poirier's fighting, Connor, I think that he should be the one to get a shot if they do a belt situation.
Yeah, that fight should already be for the belt.
It should be for the interim belt, but they're not going to do it. I saw Dana White say they weren't going to do it, but I think that Poirier deserves that shit. I think that sometimes, if they're not as flashy or whatever, because Poirier is just a good dude. He got things for kids, and he fixed Sparrow's arms with little popsicle sticks. He's just like he's just a good dude. And I think that he deserves a shot. Just like I was on Twitter and I was saying that I think Glover deserves a shot, but they're saying, oh, he's too old. I'm like, dude, he's still up there. He's still a force. I don't know why they act like a certain age. You should be like, fuck.
No, Glover's been winning all his fights. Right.
That's what I'm saying. So why not give him, then his window's shorter. Why not give him a fucking shot at the title?
Because he had a shot. That's also the point. I mean, he had a shot, but I hear you, and I don't think he sells tickets. That's also the problem. But
end of the day, because that's why they're moving up with Shemaya. They're moving him up past people that absolutely should. Wonder Boy was talking mad shit, going, "Hey, dude, you don't deserve all this shit."
Well, according to the guy on Alonzo Meinefeld on Tuesday, he said Shemaya breaks in practice. That if you put pressure on him, he's not that good, according to him. I mean, I don't know how valid that is, but he says
who has he fought that's ranked? Who is he? Who is this motherfucker?
Nobody.
Exactly. And I think that if he does get other than COVID fucking up half the shit, I'm thinking, man, he'll get housed with somebody in the top.
Well, we'll see. We have no idea. But we have no idea how good this guy is. I mean, he's obviously good. But we have no idea how good, because he's just been either fucking fighting guys that they just brought up that weren't even UFC fighters before that, or he landed a great punch and knocked out.
But how does Dana justify that shit? It's like, oh shit, last week he beat Greg Proops. Well, of course you did.
What, Greg Proops, you said?
Yeah, he's just beating like random. To me, he's not.
No, no.
He hasn't beaten the top guys.
He hasn't, but Meerschaert's a good fighter. I mean, he's a very good fighter.
Yeah, but you know what the fuck I mean. To get all of the hype he's getting, he should be fighting. I know Wonder Boy's fighting coming up, but I would have loved to see that shit. I would have loved to see him fight somebody like at that level.
By the way, did you guys have trouble logging in at all?
To what?
To the Zoom?
No.
Because Don Frye says he can't log in. He says it's invalid.
He's also 97 years old. You know.
We just kind of like, look, he's old. Technology
is to be expected.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll talk about Stephen Thompson. UFC Fight Night, Thompson versus Neal. I feel like this is not even Jeff. People are looking past Jeff Neal.
Yeah.
Jeff Neal is going to. I think he's going to beat Stephen Thompson. I think he's going to knock him out. I think this kid is the truth. I think everyone keeps sleeping on him. I don't know why. Maybe because he doesn't talk or he's not loud, doesn't do podcasts.
Well, he has no charisma whatsoever. Dude.
Let's look at who he beat. He beat Mike Perry, TKO, 1 round, 1:30. He beat Nico Price, who's really good.
That's really serious.
Second round. He beat Bilal Muhammad, 30-27, 30.
That's very impressive. That's massively impressive.
He beat Frank Camacho before him, Brian Carmozzi, Chris's brother, Bilal Williams before that. The last time Jeff Neal lost, Weendo, can you bring up the last time this guy lost?
He lost to get this, Kevin Holland in 2017. That just shows you how good Kevin Holland is.
But so he hasn't lost in 4 years. He hasn't lost in 4 years, and it's to Kevin Holland, who's like a 6'9" freak athlete, who's won 5 fights in the UFC this week. I mean, who knocked out Jacare sitting down while taking a dump.
And since we've been on the show, he's fought twice.
I mean, seriously. So this guy, I think Wonder Boy, I don't know what he's worried about Chimaev for. He needs to worry about the guy right in front of him.
No, I agree. But I'm gonna tell you right now, his charisma, like you said, if you don't sell, you're not gonna,
Well, we have no idea because I don't think he's ever spoken in public before. So we don't even know. Like, I mean, maybe, but all he's got to do is get like a coach or something. I don't even know if you even need charisma anymore. I mean, the guy, Division Figueroa doesn't have charisma. I mean, really, you just have to just be. I mean, Ngannou doesn't have charisma.
But he has, but he's a different animal. Come on. You can't even put that.
No, I hear you. Well, if Jeff Neal, I mean, I was there at the Mike Perry fight, and that was crazy. I mean, for his head kick Mike Perry, who's never been stopped before. It was insane. It was insane. Now, also Aldo versus Vera. Vera said he's going to run through Aldo.
I disagree.
I mean, who's ever run, except for McGregor, who's ever run through Aldo?
Nobody.
I mean, has anybody ever run through Aldo?
Yeah, and also people keep sleeping on Aldo's. Still can light your legs up like nobody I've seen.
Oh my God! Remember that like Uriah Faber fight?
Yeah, it just was blasting his. He was blasting the side of his calf through his asshole. It was just ridiculous.
He was walking like Magana after a job interview. I mean, just fucking limping everywhere. By the way, people always ask me why I make fun of Magana because A, she can take it. She's a friend of mine, and she's cool with it. Like, so that's why
she doesn't get all bent out of shape.
She doesn't care. She like responds. Like I would. You got to be so careful when you make fun of just people that are like sensitive because you could come across as like bullying or something.
Yeah, but some people get it. It's like if somebody says, "Hey, man, you got a weird face," I go, "Okay, keep it moving." Like what? Who gives a shit? Like, but I mean, like, I guess with some fighters, like, you can make fun of them and you go, they're cool and they roll with it, and then some that they want to show you, like, oh, really? I'll fuck you up. Like, that's why I kind of when I've been around fighters, especially when I'm doing shows in Vegas, I joke with them, but I go, I don't know if I'm gonna cross that line. Yeah,
a lot of these guys are like. They spend all their time in the gym. They got a good sense of humor. They actually like laughing, and they can take a joke. And then other ones, you're right. But the ones that are sensitive, I usually don't fuck with at all because I'm just like, it's not worth it,
Right.
It's just not. It's not worth it to me.
So you guys both have Aldo in this fight?
No, I have Vera. I just don't think he's gonna run through him.
Interesting.
You know?
I don't think he's gonna run through him. I just think that he he's a mean motherfucker. But I don't know why anybody thinks they can just run through Aldo. And even the fucking Conor McGregor thing, that was just a situation where he got caught. That's it.
That was crazy. The crazy part was
getting caught. That was just getting caught.
Well, also the crazy part was that he didn't think the fight was over afterwards.
He got caught. But I've seen a couple people get caught that you go, I would have never thought they got caught. But everybody gets caught sometimes. So I don't consider that like, oh, McGregor did some great beatdown. No.
Well, I remember asking Freddie Roach about something. I was like, well, this guy he says a lot of times the guys that knock you out are doing you a favor. I said, why? He goes, you're not taking any beating anymore. He's like, it's way worse to take a 12-round beating than a guy knocking you out quickly, which I never even looked at it that way.
Oh, no. After seeing those pictures with Ferguson and his 5 people he had fought and all their faces looked like mush, I just thought, I'd rather just get knocked.
What about Diego Dos Santos? After he fought Cain Velasquez? I mean, he looked like the guy from the Goonies.
Yeah, he did.
Even worse. Like, you were like, man, like, fighting it sounds all good and fun until you see that. You're like, whoa.
Have you ever been knocked unconscious?
By a car.
Oh, okay. No, by car. Well, yeah. Wayne, that's a tough motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
He got knocked out by car. So I've been knocked unconscious twice sparring. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the light, you see a light, and then it's just everything's gone. And then you wake up and you're groggy and you can barely walk. And I'm gonna tell you right now, but I also have been beat around, and I would rather be knocked out completely than just be bludgeoned for fucking 15 minutes straight.
Yeah. Well, when I was in 3rd grade, I had a job sweeping floors, and they would give me sunglasses at this pharmacy. And I went across the street. The cars were parked. I had all these baseball cards in my pocket, in my hands. I got hit by a car. I went like 10 feet in the air because the cars were parked, and it was kind of my fault. I was like weaving, right. And then I went like 10 feet in the air, and then got knocked unconscious. My baseball cards went flying everywhere, and kids came and stole my fucking cards.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Kids are horrible sometimes. Yeah, look at the unconscious kid. Hey, but that's a Mickey Mantle. Fuck him. It's like they're horrible. Kids are beautiful, but they're horrible.
And then I remember like just coming into like consciousness from the hospital. My mom and my dad said that was the scariest call they've ever gotten, which was like, your kid's in the ER, you got hit by a car, we can't give you any more information. Like that. And then I remember my dad telling me like, hey, don't worry, we'll get WrestleMania 3. Like that was like his way of like telling me like things are gonna be okay. That was the first thing I heard. It's okay, Adam. We'll get WrestleMania 3.
And then you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
It was Transformers for my son. Like anytime it was like, okay, we get to see Optimus Prime. Okay, cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my son on a screen door slit his finger open, like to the bone, and he was freaking out. And I was like, hey man, Transformers, Optimus Prime. Also, I'll get you. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he was fine. I'm like, wait a minute. That's all I got to do is say Transformers. So
the kids are resilient. Hey, Don Frye, are you with us?
Yes, sir. But I have no picture.
I was gonna say you look much better.
At least there's no lag this time. When he's just on phone call, there's no lag. But then when he's on video, there's like a 47-second delay.
All right, so we'll keep you on a phone call. Don Frye.
Just take a picture of me on the wall,
By the way, how's that response been so far with the Vlad TV interview?
I guess pretty good, It's got some hits off of it, a good count, and I guess he's made about $20,000 off my interview so far. So
what?
Good for him. Good.
Wow.
Well, my guy ran the numbers, So that's great. That's great. Good for him, man. So.
Now, Shang, the culture is very mad at Vlad TV. I know that like Godfrey's upset with him. They're calling him a snitch. I guess he well, could you? I don't know what's going. Could you give us the update?
No, it's just they feel like that he's like what Fox TV did. They built a platform up on a lot of interviews with rappers and black singers and whatever the fuck. And then once he got to that level, he kind of acted, like he was above it. And also he kind of leaked some information from some illegal activities with some rappers that he wasn't supposed to. So that's what I'm saying. But to me, I'm like, it's all part of it. Do the fucking interview and keep it moving. And if you're a gangster rapper and you talk about all the bodies you hid on an interview, then fuck you. Then fuck you. Then why are you acting like, oh, I can't believe they caught me? Well, you dummy, you fucking said it on internet. Like, yeah, I remember that last guy shot in the face. Well, it was you, idiot. So I have
no bragging about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're bragging about it, dumbass. You're gonna go down.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel that way. And I know Godfrey was like, and I was like, man, come on, man. You got 50,000 followers because you've been on that interview. So in fact, give those 50,000 followers back then.
Yeah.
I don't look at it that way. It's all part of it. You do an interview. Sometimes the shit what do you expect the interview to swap spit in the shower with you? Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Right. So Dana White says in 2021 he wants to make Stylebender versus John Jones. That's the fight he wants to make.
No.
Don Frye, who wins this fight?
I go with John Jones, baby. Because he's going to have a great weight advantage and strength advantage, and he's obviously a much better fighter. He's got, the skills, and he's got the experience.
No.
What?
No, Stylebender got experience. He had 101 kickboxing fights before.
I didn't know that.
101 kickboxing fights. Only knocked out twice. I think once or twice. And Stylebender's pretty crafty, man. He's pretty crafty. He's good with distance. I just think his size. He's just not big enough. He's not going to get big enough. He just can't.
Jones is so smart too. Like I think he'll know that he has a wrestling advantage, and I think he'll get him up against a cage, take him down. I mean, the guy took down Daniel Cormier. I mean, who takes down Daniel Cormier?
But also he had horse roids in his asshole. You can't. Daniel Cormier fight. I don't really give him props for that. He did. Ween, you can look it up. He basically.
All right. So Don Frye, you fought guys that were on steroids versus guys that were off steroids. How much is the strength advantage for the guy who's on steroids?
Well, yeah, they got a good strength advantage, but the thing is, you work out harder. I'm thinking you work out harder when you're on the steroids because that you recover faster. And I had a gal explain it to me one time when I was in. It's not on. When I was in college, and talking to a veterinarian one time, she says, "Yeah, can you hear me?"
Yeah.
Okay. He said, "Yeah, they did research, and it really doesn't do that much, except that it makes you psychologically think, okay, if I'm sticking these needles in my ass, I'm going to work out harder." It's just, which I don't believe. I mean, it's got a great advantage. But the thing is, fuck, it's pro sports, man. You're going for the heavyweight title, the world championship. So everybody's taking the damn things, you're not going to shut the hell up and go play tennis.
Yeah, you don't like get punched in the face, play wiffle ball. But
by the way, so Bellator signed Anthony Johnson and Yoel Romero, and people are saying that's the fight that they're going to make. I'm excited for that fight. I mean,
oh, really?
Yeah, of course. Guys that could end you with a fucking flick. I mean, Romero and Anthony Johnson, granted, they're past their prime, we think, for Romero at least. I don't know about Anthony Johnson, but that's a good fight. I mean, because wrestling advantage got to give to Romero, but he doesn't wrestle. And Johnson probably has the power advantage, I think. But Romero hits fucking hard. I don't know who's gonna win that fight.
I will see you. I will see you when I fight you. Yeah. I mean, I saw what he said, but I just really think that a lot of times the wrestlers I've seen, even Cormier, who I'm a fan of, if you don't use your wrestling and that's what you basically got the game with, you're fucking stupid. You should use whatever your strength is.
Of course, but who do you think wins the fight?
Yeah.
I think that if he uses his wrestling, Romero uses wrestling, he will win, but it probably won't. He'll try to stand up and bang with him. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Anthony Johnson's going to knock his eye through his asshole.
Who's that? But all right. Don Frye, who wins that fight?
Just like you said, man, if Romero is not smart enough to wrestle, he tries to trade punches with Johnson, he's gonna lose his ass. It's just stupid. Go with what brought you to the game, but make sure you have fixed the holes in your game also. But you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart enough. It's not amateur sport anymore. It's professional fight for the world championship. You gotta be smart about it.
But this is coming from a guy who's going to train with everybody. I mean, literally, I don't think there was a one fight where you used your wrestling. You sit there and trade punches with everybody, Don Frye.
Well, yeah, well, I'm not a great wrestler. Romero is.
You were an alternate. You were almost an Olympic alternate.
Oh, almost my ass. I was 10 down the row. Maybe 20 down the row. There's no almost in there unless there's 7 bus crashes, and a bunch of earthquakes. No, there was no.
That is being 10 down. Even being a 10th alternate for the Olympic team in the U.S. is fucking incredible, dude.
Well, that is up there.
It's that's just a theoretical number, okay? Nobody counts, below the number 1 alternate, okay?
Yeah.
Anybody can claim to be number 10. Geez, you could,
No, man. I think that Romero, when you look at his wrestling, I mean, the dude is like freakishly strong.
He doesn't wrestle. No, he has 2 wins over Cael Sanderson, who's arguably the best college wrestler in history.
And he don't use it in the UFC. I mean, if you look at the people that use it, like the fight we just saw with Ferguson, man, that motherfucker said, look, Ferguson can be deadly on his feet, so let me just slam him a few times.
Yeah, but Ferguson's also a college wrestler, which was crazy.
But he went to what his strength was.
No, but Ferguson didn't wrestle, which was baffling to me.
Baffling, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes you got to use it. And I just think that Romero I haven't seen a fight where I thought, oh shit, if he could just go to his wrestling where he ever did. Romero just doesn't.
He kind of did in the beginning, like when he fought the Tim Kennedys, and when he fought what's his name? The guy he fought somebody else. The guy that just beat the Armenian guy. When he fought Derek Brunson, he was using his wrestling back then. I don't know if it's an injury or what. It's kind of like what Ronda Rousey, from what I heard, her hips and legs were so screwed up that she couldn't even shoot. Like that's why she never really used her wrestling, even though she had to wrestle.
Shoot a wrestling attack, not a judo attack. Crime on me.
Yeah. So now the fight that I want to see is Michael Pereira versus Chaos Williams, because
hell yeah,
this is the guy. Don, you got to watch this weekend, okay? Don't meet the guy that killed Bin Laden again for the 8th.
Right? I feel like Don's just meeting up with a cardboard cutout of this guy every single weekend.
All right, you got to actually watch this. I see you with your family; it's really sweet, okay? But this Saturday, this fight, this one guy trained in the circus. He does crazy. He does crazy backflips. It's insane what he does. I never seen anything like it. And he's fighting this guy, Chaos Williams, who's just knocking fools out. I mean, highlight one punch power. And I'm interested to see who wins this. This is gonna be a good. This is the fight of the night for me, at least.
What's their names again?
All right, so Michael Pereira, right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I know.
It's pronounced Michelle, like Michelle Pereira.
Michelle Pereira This guy, he does backflips during his fight.
He's basically he's a circus freak that started a fight.
But like he does backflips off the cage onto the guy who's lying down. Like he does the most insane shit you've ever seen. Like rather than just like he has a guy down, and instead of just like punching him, he does like a backflip so he can like step on his foot. It's insane I can't even describe what he does. It's insane.
That shit is not gonna work with Chaos. Chaos is gonna come straight forward on a linear line and knock him the fuck out. That's what I think is gonna happen.
You think so, really?
Absolutely. Chaos. That he hits like a truck, dude. Every fight, he knocks people out and he just walks away, puts his hands up like he just like the cops just pulled a gun on him.
But the thing about a guy like this though that jumps around and just you can't train for a guy like this. There's nobody you could bring in to emulate what this guy's gonna do.
Okay, I didn't think about that.
Including him. Because he doesn't know what he's gonna do. Like Don, if a guy's doing backflips in front of you, like what do you do to like beat him?
You get to hire a clown, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juggle, riding in a cycle.
A guy with a monkey and a little grinder, you know?
Yeah, like I just think I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling you, man. Chaos is not about that shit. I think he's gonna cut off the fucking cage. He's gonna get him near where he can't do any flips or moves against the gate, and he's gonna come straight down the middle.
They really should like bring managers to the octagon, like in WWE, and imagine having like 5 clowns outside the octagon, like
an elephant.
Kenny, you got it. Come on, man, you can do it.
Like during the fight. I mean, that would be pretty incredible.
Yeah,
I think you would lose a lot of your
Who do you got in the fight? Who do you got, Wayne? Because I'm telling you right now, I think Chaos is no joke, bro.
I'm definitely leaning towards Chaos winning this fight, but at the end of the day, I can't confidently pick any of these guys to win. So I'm definitely going to be putting money on that this fight's going to end under 2.5 rounds because I am very confident that will happen, but I just don't really know who's going to win, but I'm leaning towards Chaos.
Got it. Now, Don, did you watch the Tyson fight?
No.
Oh.
Hell no. What for?
It was a pretty good fight.
When they said they took away knockouts, you know, and they started labeling all these rules around it, you know, it wasn't much of a fight anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, now they're saying he's going to fight Holyfield or Lennox Lewis. They're saying Tyson versus Holyfield. We got to get you on.
Right, but they're calling it. Are they still going to call it an exhibition?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, somebody's going to fuck that up because one of them guys is going to forget it's exhibition and they're going to start turning on the heat. And then the other guy's going to turn up the heat. You know, it's going to turn into a fight.
Now, when was the last time that you trained, Don?
When was the last time? Shit, partner, had to be 2011 or 2010, partner.
Well, I know that you were calling out Mike Tyson for a bare knuckle fight.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're hoping when they're throwing away around $100 million, you know, for McGregor to fight, you know, Kramer, you want to get in on that shit.
Yeah. I mean, McGregor made more fighting Mayweather than he did his whole UFC career, they said.
All right. Well, so I don't know if you watched. Okay. So Logan Paul says he offered McGregor $50 million to fight. Then he called McGregor's wife a whore. Then he called Dana White a pussy. Then he went, Dylan Dennis, is Connor's jiu-jitsu coach and friend. He was hanging out like somewhere, and Logan Paul, Jake Paul. No, so Jake Paul went in the back of a truck and threw a water balloon at him in front of all his friends.
I think that was all fake. I think that was staged.
Staged, right?
Yeah. Well, first of all, listen, this was during Brendan Schaub's Food Truck Diaries that he does with all these fighters. And the previous week, like last week, guess who we had on the show? Logan Paul, Jake Paul's bigger brother.
Oh,
so there's so much fishy shit going on with this, you know, like maybe Brendan Schaub is a mastermind behind all of this, giving Jake Paul or giving Logan Paul tips. And then Logan Paul tells Jake Paul.
So Dana White said that he would let possibly Amanda Nunes fight Jake Paul.
Great fight.
Nunes says she's in. Who wins this fight? Don Frye.
I'd go with Nunez, man. I mean, I'm sure season Paul has, you know.
Yeah.
She's gonna be a lot more aggressive.
Because she's eating more pussy, you said?
Hell yeah. I get aggressive when I'm eating pussy. Shit. It gives you something to go work hard for.
So you think that she's gonna win because she's eating more pussy than Jake Paul? What about training or boxing or anything else?
Nope, eating more pussy. But I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna get a rude awakening if he tries to go in the cage with one of these guys. I just think this guy's an internet guy, and he will find out he's an internet guy. I think his brother's gonna get mopped by. I think Floyd Mayweather's gonna toy with him and say, toy with him and then make the $50 million. I think it's nothing but a money grab. It's no.
Of course.
It's nothing legitimate.
Of course. Now a boxing match versus Nunes. I think Nunes wins. You, Shane?
Oh, absolutely. I think she wins all the way around. I bet she'd win on the game and her neck chest. Oh, criminy.
Yeah. Now, Rob Font is taking on Marlon Moraes this week. Marlon, he had a lot of hype behind him. He got knocked out his last fight by who is it? By
Corey Sandhagen.
Corey Sandhagen. How did Rob Font do his last fight?
Dude, he's on a roll, dude. He won against Ricky Simone.
Right.
And that was in 2019. And before that, he beat Sergio Pettis, but he lost to Rafael Sunsao. So Rob Font is no joke.
Ooh, this should be a good one. Marlon needs a win.
After getting knocked out, sometimes if you get knocked out, it is harder to come back after a knockout like that.
Especially, he got wheel kick knocked out. It was like,
right, so that's what I'm saying. Like that. I just think that after a knockout, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna win.
I don't know. I still believe in Marlon Moraes. I think he's gonna beat Rob Font. I don't know why, but I do. Greg Hardy. Who in the beginning it was a little strange, we're not gonna lie. Remember he punted a guy, then he had like his inhaler during a fight. He had like a secret inhaler, but lately he's shown he's the real deal. He's a guy that came over from the NFL. There were allegations that he beat up his girlfriend, or not allegations. I guess he was proven that he did it, but I don't know. He got
who does it? Wait, who is that?
The guy Greg Hardy. So
who does not? I think who in the NFL does not.
Me, Shang, and Weendog. So he's fighting. So he's fighting Marcin Tybura, who beat Ben Rothwell, beat Maxime Grishin, beat Sergey Spivak. He lost to Sakai in 1 minute, and before that, he beat Stefan Struve. He lost to Shamal Abdurabov. I just fucked that up. He lost to Derek Lewis, lost to Verdum, beat Arlovsky. It should be a good fight. Greg Hardy needs like a big win on his record. He's lost to Volkov. That's really it. And lost to Alan Crowder by illegal knee. I don't really count that. I don't really count that as a loss. He beat Maurice Green. Maurice Green looked terrible in that fight. I mean, that was the worst Maurice Green's ever looked.
That one, I don't give him that one because it was like you weren't fighting a guy that was really.
He was like running away from him. It was
like, hey man, I'm getting this mortgage payment. He looked like he was getting a mortgage payment. And
Maurice Green's a good fighter. I think Greg Hardy has insane power. I think people get in there and they feel the power and then they go, I wasn't ready for this. Did that ever happen to you, Don, in a fight?
Yeah, Mark Coleman, man, he grabbed hold of me, and I couldn't get away from him. Yeah. It's like being squoze, by being a grape and get turned into wine,
Yeah.
But what about as far as like being punched? Do you ever get punched and go, "Whoa, this is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be"?
Yeah, Le Banner. He fucking put my eyeball in the back of my head. Put my frontal lobe in the back of my back lobe. Yeah.
Wow, That's got to be a pretty bad. And now, when that happens, what goes through your head?
Brain.
I mean,
but what are your thoughts? Are your thoughts like, fuck, like don't let that happen again? Or are you just like,
yeah, it's just like you either have thoughts like, God damn, I got hit so hard, or else you don't have any thoughts until you wake up half hour later in the dressing room, getting out of the shower. Yeah.
Got it. That's got to be a rough feeling. Man. Yeah. So also on this card, Anthony Pettis taking on Alex Morano. Morano beat Reese McKee, lost to Kalen Williams, got knocked out, beat Max Griffin. That's a good one. Beat Zach Otto, beat Keenan Song, lost to Jordan Mean, beat Josh Berkman. This should be a good fight. This should be a good fight. Morano's a good fighter, but I think Pettis has got this. I think
agree.
Pettis is a little bit of a higher level.
Yeah. And Pettis seems like he gets so close with some fights, and then he does get heart, man. I've never seen somebody take such a beating, and he just keeps coming, man. So I give him that, though.
Don Frye, who do you think wins the fight?
Yeah, I'm going with my boy Pettis, man. The guy's just, he gets after it. He can take a punch, but he also gives a punch. He's a good. Being able to take a punch is not something you want to be known as. Yeah, you want to be able to known, with the combination of being able to give a punch, but then take a punch, but not just take a punch. That's just not the sole claim to fame.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I remember I called Tim Kennedy tough, and he got mad at me for that. He was like, "No, you never want to be known as tough because it means you're getting hit a lot." So that actually makes sense.
Well, you're a punching bag, But
It's like you do comedy, and people are like, "Man, like you got a lot of heart." They don't say you were funny.
Yeah.
Like you really stuck in there.
If you only had a punchline to go with those jokes,
Like you didn't give up, dude. That's all I would get are backhanded compliments. I thought you were funny, or I was laughing, or tough crowd, or
they're just not smart enough to understand your level of entertainment. Yeah,
it is what it is. But it's just like, but it's not helping me. But it's better saying nothing than I was laughing.
Yeah.
Or like I thought you were funny, because that person was not laughing. Number one, because if the person is gonna type person up to you and say that, they weren't laughing. All right, so Sijara Eubanks versus Penny Kanzad. Sijara Eubanks is probably the best 6-5 fighter in MMA because
best what
6-5 fighter, because she wins. She's a tough girl. She won the Ultimate Fighter. She just either misses weight or she just can't seem to get out of her own way because she's a really good fighter, but just has not lived up to her potential. And I'm not saying it to diss her at all.
But you got
what?
She either needs to fire her trainer or he needs to quit and get a new fighter.
Yeah.
She's at a good camp though. She's at that New Jersey camp with what's his name?
On Sure Dog it says Mark Henry Boxing.
She's with Mark Henry. I mean, she's got a good team about her. She's just like her last fight, she lost to Caitlin Vieira, that was a close fight, a good fight, but she beat Julia Avila, she beat Sarah Moras, lost to Betch Gahea, which is crazy, lost to Aspen Lab, beat Roxanne, beat Lauren Murphy, she lost to Caitlin Chukagan. She's got some good, some decent wins.
Yeah.
But she's fighting Penny Kanzad, who's a girl who's super hot actually, from Sweden, kind of sexy in a strange way. Who's coming up a winner of Betch Gahea and Jessie Jess, lost to Julia Avila. She's also from going over people from an EMT. She's an EMT in Sweden. That's her night job. Good for her. This should be a good.
Better be in the
I'm actually curious to see this fight.
I got Penny in this fight. I think it's gonna be a decision for sure, but I think Penny Kanzad is gonna win. I don't know why.
Well,
better than being a stripper.
Yeah.
Don. First of all, Don, aren't you kind of known for falling in love with some strippers?
No, they fall in love with me, baby. But that was 20 years ago. Fuck. I don't think I've been to a strip club in 15 years, partner.
Yeah, I don't really go. I haven't gone in a while either. A long time.
I'm at that age. I'd be that creepy old guy. That's the one I never wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I used to be fun when I would kind of when you could pull strippers out of the strip club and yada yada. Like, I guess my wife just walked. Why do you walk in the room always at these times? My wife walked in the room looking at me. But now that I'm married, it's just,
she got your room bugged.
I went one time when you were pregnant because that was a Dan Henderson after party.
Like, when did you tell me?
I told you on the way while you're about to give birth. But anyway, so
you're no
back
good
to
me, honey. You're no good for another month.
Let's talk about the next fight.
All right, so
wife.
I got Adam's wife.
I got Adam's wife.
I got Adam's wife. I got Adam's wife too. All right, so after that, there's a bunch of other fights too on this card, which are good. But after that, there's no fights till January 23rd in the UFC.
No, it's like January 16th.
16th is
That's great. Why would they go every week and then have a month off?
The holidays.
So what? Everyone's home. That's the time.
Yeah, fucking fight on Christmas, you bitches. Goddamn. Pussies.
But,
yeah.
But isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that kind of weird though? They went like every week. And
but a lot of people, Dana White said, "Hey, I'm just going to the Bahamas and for a vacation." A lot of people are taking vacation, taking a break.
No, but I feel like they got hooked. It's like cocaine. They got us hooked.
I know.
And now they're like, "Hey, you know what? Time to you're off for a week. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do."
The fights they had were good, and this fight this week is good.
Thank God there's Bellator. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, but now I gotta talk to my family and stuff.
That's a joke.
There is no Bellator. The next fight is on New Year's Eve in Ryzen. Well, actually one from Singapore, and then Ryzen is I don't even know what they're. I forgot Ryzen was still around.
Is one still around? Shit.
Haraguchi is fighting Asakura. That's a good fight.
Yeah, one is actually picking up some, to me, they picked up Mighty Mouse, and to me, that's a big pickup to me.
Well, they picked up Vitor Belfort, but when's he fighting for them?
I don't know.
He's been scheduled to fight that giant black dude. What's his name? They've been scheduled to fight for like 3 years now. When is that fight going to happen?
It's like it's longer than 3 years.
Like Don Frye. No. But Don Frye's comeback is going to be before. So.
There's actually a Submission Underground this Sunday, and it's actually a pretty good card, dude. There's Rafael dos Anjos is going to be grappling against Donald Cerrone.
Wow.
Ryan Bader is going to be grappling against Anthony Johnson, Speak of the Devil.
Wow.
And Chris Lassonier, who was on our podcast a couple months ago, is fighting Andrew Alexander. It's actually a pretty good ass Submission Underground.
It's funny if Johnson knocks him out again, Bader, like he did the first time.
Like the first time, like, damn. But I'm going to tell you the fight that we keep, I think that Wonder Boy is the one I want to see how he does, man. That's the one I'm really kind of looking forward to. I think Wonder Boy, other than getting, absolutely, knocked out of his mind, with Pettis, I just really think that he's still a guy that is.
I agree.
Yeah, he's no joke. And I think that people sleep on who he's fighting. Absolutely. But they sleep on Wonder Boy too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Shang. Don, when you fought karate guys, did you bring in a lot of karate guys to spar with?
No, never. I learned karate guys, they cannot take a punch, because they train not to fight. And you train not to fight, you're of no fucking use in the fight game,
God damn it. There's some karate guys. There's some karate guys that have done extremely well. And,
there's MVP and there's Wonder Boy.
Machida.
Machida. There's 3.
Machida was
but
the belt.
Are they strictly karate or are they added
They added stuff.
He added some, but Machida was primarily karate.
So wait, now how did you learn that karate guys can't take a punch?
What's that?
When did you learn the karate guys couldn't take a punch?
That's right away. Dudes hit them once, and they pissed them. And also, I need somebody to come in and mop up.
Wait, so UFC 1, the karate guy got hit and he pissed himself, and the guy came up to mop the floor. Is that what happened?
Who are you talking about?
You talking about the Keith Hackney fight? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not Keith Hackney. Who's UFC 1? Gerard Gordeau? Gordeau. He's a fucking killer, man. He's a killer. He's not a karate guy. You know, that guy comes from a different universe, man.
No, you're right. No, I'm saying, so when did you learn that karate guys couldn't take a punch?
Oh shit! Anytime you work out with them, man, all you gotta do is just work out with them once, and then you just look at their stance, look at the way they walk, you look at the way they care for their bodies. Most of them are, 20, 30 pounds overweight. Oh, I have a black belt in karate. Well, that's fucking great, shit, but that means nothing, Crimey. Karate's an efficient tool against people who have no skills, But but when you fight somebody who has skills, it's completely negated.
All right. Well,
very controversial.
We have Don Frye's stance on karate.
And we know how you feel about karate.
You heard it here first.
But no, wait a minute. Let me ask you this. What about Taekwondo? I've seen some people with great Taekwondo.
That's exactly about Taekwondo. Taekwondo times 10. Taekwondo is good for women and children. Teach them discipline and exercise. As far as a fighting skill, is completely useless.
This is good for women and children and exercise.
Women and children.
You know what? I took Taekwondo when I was a kid, and you got a belt every 3 months, and right. And my little brother was like a purple belt or something, and he was like 5, and I was like, all right, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't seem very effective. It did seem like a money grab. Got to be honest. I mean, I'm sure it's different in other places, but the one that I was at
was a money grab. Yeah,
was a money grab.
But I've seen some Taekwondo. It's some guys that train Taekwondo, and then at least with the kicks, side kick, hook kick, dragon kick. I'm telling you right now, some of those guys, and then when they learn some wrestling and boxing, they're pretty good.
Yeah, but that's a unicorn, man. It's a unicorn. Because most people, it's hard to get people to stick around for wrestling. For one thing, once you get somebody to take more than 3 sessions of wrestling, well, then you get somebody who has athletic ability or else, an athlete's mind.
Don, you're so right, man. I was coaching a kid, and the ref was going to make him cut his hair before a tournament, and the kid did not want to cut his hair. And he's like, well, you can't wrestle. It's because they're. I go, listen, man. I'll put a bathing cap on. You know how hard it is to get these kids to come out for wrestling? Like, they don't want to wrestle. But now you're making them cut their hair. Just let the kid wrestle. And he's like, okay, fine, you're right. But you're 1,000% correct. It's like people do it. And they go, fuck this sport.
Yeah. What about What about Kung Fu? Kung Fu.
How come there's never been one Kung Fu?
I know.
Oh, Tai Chi.
Oh, Tai Chi. Did you see the one recently? The Tai Chi video that came out?
No.
Oh, the Tai Chi guy, like fought an MMA guy.
I've seen something like that before.
It was horrible.
He got punched in the face, and then he just quit. He just said it's over. He didn't even get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. You get punched in the face, it's a whole different, world, That tells you everything. It's like when somebody in wrestling, they pick you up and slam you on the ground, and then hold you down. you know, you go, wait a second, what is this?
Yeah.
But you know what? Out of all of them, I think Muay Thai is the one where you go, okay, that's legit as shit.
Wrestling.
Muay Thai. You know what? The combination of Muay Thai and judo and wrestling is a killer combination.
Yeah.
Muay Thai is the most vicious one out there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I mean, they're all important, but you're right. But this Tai Chi thing has to go. And then also with like the energy guys who just said they could knock you out with energy.
Their energy, it's bullshit. I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that. But
there was a fat guy sitting down, literally flipping people without even touching them.
Like he points his finger at their knee and they fall down.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, come on.
Then you punch him in the face and he goes, "Oh, I didn't know you were actually punching people in the face." Then all of a sudden it's a different ball game. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I've seen some Muay Thai guys that go, Jesus Christ, just their kicks alone, they're much more vicious than anything else. They're like, I'm trying to really take your leg off.
But I've seen plenty of Muay Thai guys that like go into a fight and then get taken down and they're just stuck. They don't know what to do.
Well, you gotta mix it up. You can't just have Muay Thai. You gotta have a mix.
I mean, that happened a lot on The Ultimate Fighter. These guys would come in, you see them, you're like, oh, I trained in Thailand for 3 years and then they can't defend a takedown. It's like, well, great.
Right.
You know, and then
a whole different language. It's like you going into Pakistan or Russia or something, try and tell a joke in English, but all they do is speak, you know, foreign language. You're the home language, you know. It's completely different all the way around.
Those are usually my shows anyway, though. But listen, this has been awesome. Ween Dog, what do you have coming up?
Go follow me on YouTube, The Joe Perez Show, and that's it, baby.
Shang?
I'll be at the Laugh Factory. Actually, I'll be there tonight at the virtual comedy show. I'm doing a virtual comedy show at the Laugh Factory, and you can just go to laughfactory.com and check out the information about it. They're going to be doing weekly shows there now, virtual shows.
I love it. Don, what do you got?
Well, Dan Severn and I are going to get our podcast off the ground here. Looks like in the middle of January. And it'll be Toxic Masculinity, Double D's Toxic Masculinity.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. Watch my special. It's coming out next week on Fight Pass. Fight Pass next week. My special. You guys are the best. Thank you guys. Thank you.